We're in Torti, the last stop on the legendary Pan American Highway, where the road disappears and the jungle begins. And this small town is one of the last before you head into the Darien Gap. We're here, of course, for the birds, and we come to find out that this place is pure magic. With dense rainforests and endless rivers, some of the birds you can find here can't be found anywhere else in all of Panama. We've got 2 days here for Torti to reveal all of its secrets. After last night's harrowing drive into town, it sure felt great to be out the next morning in a more peaceful environment. In fact, it was so peaceful there was only one bird by it, and this little blue heron, but there were some other birds hanging on the trees nearby. In this part of Panama required a little bit of wardrobe change to keep those creepy crawlies out.
I've got bugs in my eyes, I've got bugs in my skin.
This raptor flew in and landed right over our heads, and it turns out it's a new one for the tour, a gray-lined hawk. We came to another area with a good view of the river, and a sharp eye in our group noticed the solitary sandpiper.
This is a howler.
Howler monkeys, yeah.
Little baby hanging.
After spending a few minutes with the howler monkeys, we then came over to this area, and in these trees we found 2 really cool species. First were these extremely difficult to get white-eared conebill. There was a flock where we got to see both the male and female, some decent video, and a couple of okay stills. Next up was a far more cooperative species, which gave us a great look here. This is a black ant shrike. Eventually, we started making our way back to the van, but not before also getting a great look at this pale-bellied hermit, new for the tour. Also on the way out was another good look at the Amazon kingfisher.
There you go. Here.
The morning wasn't done quite yet. As we were riding in the van back to the hotel, a couple of raptors got our attention. Starting with this savanna hawk on a great perch, we saw one in the west in Cherokee, but now up close, I didn't realize how orange they were. And we ended the morning here on this favorite that of course everyone in the van knew, this American kestrel.
Oh, rain.
We're underway for the afternoon session, starting with this red-breasted meadowlark, but sadly, we're also starting with some rain, which is putting a damper on things. Fortunately, we're able to readjust our target area, and we move to here, another area along the Torti River, where the thick tree canopy overhead should provide us some cover from the rain. And this strategy paid off and kept us nice and dry, and to start over here, it's tanager time. While we waited out the rain, we were hearing the snapping sound of a golden-collared mannequin. In fact, there were a bunch of them in these trees right near us. Sadly, they hardly ever showed themselves. This is the only still I got, and well, I definitely wasn't going to be cropping this one in. Fortunately, the rain stopped, so we all jumped back in the van and then started driving to our original target area, which is here on this seemingly random road. And as we walked along, it was pretty quiet out there. But eventually, there were some birds to be had. although the overcast skies and dull light weren't really helping much on the photography front. But the bad photos didn't last long as we came across this. I was able to sit on the ground and it got even better from a lower angle. This flycatcher sat there just posing for us as long as we wanted, and I was able to make another one of my favorite images from the trip. We pressed on as the light started to get low, and I mentioned at the beginning of the segment that we were on seemingly a random road. But with our guide Jacob, nothing is ever truly random. It turned out he had a very specific species in mind for us to see in this area, and he was starting to hear it, so we started to go off trail again to find it. It wasn't this black ant shrike, although it was great seeing the male after seeing the female earlier in the morning. Our hard-to-find Pokemon shiny bird of the afternoon was actually this, a gray-cheeked nunlet. This bird typically stays in the dense understory of the forest, so to have one out here in the open was exceptionally rare and a great way to end our afternoon. It's our last morning in Torti, and as I make my way toward breakfast, I get some bad news. Oh, coffee's not ready. But good news, the coffee eventually got replenished. I had my daily 7 cups, and then we're out birding here at the San Francisco Reserve. And the wildlife, both mammals and birds, were pretty active to start the day. The trees surrounding these small ponds is where we begin our deeper search. As we poked a little bit deeper into the jungle, our first good score of the day is here in this little tinamou. Just like the great tinamou we saw back in Gamboa, good footage and stills on this species is nearly impossible. And the good stuff didn't end there. We were now pretty deep in the jungle, and then we found this. This russet-winged chiffornis was another desirable bird for the tour and another Torti special. Next up was another new bird and another great name in this white-vented plumeletier.
Thank you.
I mentioned at the beginning of the series that we weren't going to focus on vultures too much because they're everywhere, but this one was a little bit different and was our first for the trip, king vulture. We then made our way down by the Torti River, and it was gorgeous and set the stage for these guys. Like I mentioned in last week's video, a Panama birding outing isn't complete without good looks at a trogon. In this case, well, 2 of them. Our last area of exploration is here, back towards the entrance of the reserve, and Guide Jacob told us to be a little bit careful about getting too close to the edge of this pond.
Oh, come.
It seemed the black-bellied whistling ducks were at least able to live in peace on Alligator Island. And in the trees surrounding the gator-infested pond were a bunch of these guys. It is a popular roosting site for western cattle egrets. We were just about to call it quits on this awesome morning, but there was still one more surprise in store for us. This chestnut-backed antbird gave us great looks to end the morning. And and we all as a group unanimously decided that the San Francisco Reserve here in Torti is definitely a top birding spot. I kind of figured at this point we'd walked every dusty farm road there was around Torti, but we hadn't. As we started making our way east towards the Darien, there were still a few stops that we wanted to check out along the way. And of course, straight out of the van, more new species. This road was so good, we even got a new monkey species that we hadn't seen yet. We also got a great look at one of my favorite woodpeckers, the punk rocker of woodpeckers, donning that red mohawk, the lineated woodpecker. The Torti area truly is a beautiful place, but we knew it was time to wrap up our time there. Even the locals were getting in their last tasks of the day. But as always, the day never just really ends. We always get one last good thing before we go. This pied puffbird was on a great perch, and of course, as soon as I stopped recording, it flew and caught an enormous bug. We watched the puffbird devour its dinner, and then finally made our way back to the van. And then we started making our way to the final stop on the tour, the Darien. Coming up in the series finale, in the Darien we get some Cotinga redemption. We finally see a species that was haunting our guide, and we make one of the hardest hikes I've ever done. And it's all to see this. Oh my God.